All right, good morning everyone. This is CA Ramesh Soni and I welcome all of you to Ramesh Soni classes. We will be starting with our indirect tax laws paper today, right? So with this brief introduction, let me go ahead and start our class. We'll be starting with GST. Let me first introduce you to the indirect tax laws syllabus. Indirect tax laws, uh, the syllabus which is there. Syllabus we have GST and we have customs, right? So Baba, GST will be for 75 marks, customs will be for 25 marks, and in this customs ka 25 marks we have 20 marks exactly for customs and 5 marks is for FTB, right? So this will be your syllabus. In the syllabus we have GST for 75 marks and customs for 25 marks, in which 5 marks ka FTP is there. Now how will we go ahead and cover? We will be covering it in around 42 classes. So classes are starting today the 15th of June, and it will be ending on 2nd of August, right everyone? So let's go ahead. And how many classes will GST be there? How many classes customs will be there? Sir, GST will go ahead and try to finish in around 34 to 35 classes, and customs will be remaining 8 or 9 days, right everyone? Approximately 33-34 classes will be finishing GST, and customs will be finishing along with FTP in 8 to 9 days, right everyone? Now sir, with this syllabus thing, what is the next thing we'll be going ahead and discussing? The second thing we have to discuss is about the books. So first thing, the syllabus. Sir, we'll be starting with customs or GST? We'll be starting with GST. Now you'll be getting 3 books. You'll be getting 3 books to study along with me, right? The first will be the textbook. Number 1, the textbook will be there. Number 2 will be the chart book. Number 3 will be the Q&A, right? Now what are the 3 different sir, why 3 different book? What is the help we'll be getting out of all these 3 books? The textbook which is there, you'll be getting this Chartmasters indirect tax laws ka textbook, which is applicable for November 20 exam and May 21 exam, right? Baba, November 20 ke liye it is completely amended. We have gone ahead and incorporated all the amendments which are applicable till 30th of April, and for the students who are writing in November 20, it is completely updated. So you will not have to go anywhere, see any other book. I have tried my best to go ahead and update everything in the textbook. So your ICI ka material, everything has been incorporated, Baba, so you will not have to see any other book other than my book, right everyone? Now, so this textbook which is updated till 30th of April 2020, you will be getting with all the laws, circular, notification, everything, every single thing we have tried to go ahead and incorporate it. Now what is the chart book? Baba, chart book is my summary chart book which I go ahead and provide to all my students. Basically what happens in the chart book, we try to go ahead and compress one chapter in one page. So I go ahead and try to compress the whole of GST I have tried in the version 3.0, which you will be getting this time along with the November 20 version. I have compressed the whole of GST and customs in 78 pages, to be more precise. It will be 78 pages, around 60 or 59 pages are GST. So the whole of GST 75 mark syllabus I have tried to compress is only in 59 pages, and customs is around 19 to 20 pages. So we have gone ahead and compressed customs as well. So you will be getting the chart book version 3.0, which is completely amended chart book. I have tried my best to go ahead and incorporate all the amendments in the chart book itself, right? So it is a completely amended chart book which you will be getting along with the classes. And the third is the Q&A material. Baba, the Q&A material has all the questions from your CA study material, CS study material, ICWS study material. I have gone ahead and handpicked all the questions which are good over there, and I have incorporated in my Q&A material. Along with that, we have gone ahead and incorporated RTPs, MTPs, past exam question papers, ICI ka practice papers, CS ka exam question papers, CMA ka exam question papers. We have tried to incorporate everything in the Q&A material. So the Q&A material is a one-stop solution for you to practice everything, right everyone? So this is the second thing. The first thing was syllabus, 75 marks is GST. The second customs is 25 marks. The second thing is we'll be having three books. One is the textbook, one is the chart book, and one is the Q&A book. Baba, relax and sit. Aram se relax and sit when you have come to my class. See, already when you see people are so worried outside, right? So I want that each one of you, when you are watching my class, aram se you have to relax and sit and enjoy the class. Just listen to my class. Just enjoy the class. You don't have to go ahead and think, sir, do I have to do that? Do I have to do this? Don't worry about it. Going ahead, slowly, I will be going ahead and telling you everything that is to be done. And trust me, GST, customs and FTP will become a cakewalk the day class gets over, right everyone? And you just have to put your brain and sit in the class. You don't have to go ahead and think anything else. Aram se relax in the class, aram se sit, aram se listen to me. Just enjoy the class. Trust me, by the end of the classes, you will be done with GST and customs just like this. And you will be like, okay, it's just a cakewalk for me. Baba, you just have to practice question answers after this 42 days of class gets over. That's it, right? So now, so the textbook which is there, it's completely amended up to 30th April. Sir, what is the relevance of the textbook? Baba, the textbook has all the laws, circular, notifications incorporated. So we will be basically studying from the textbook. Always we will be going ahead and studying from the textbook. The chart book which is there, as I have told you, it's a summary book where I have gone ahead and summarized, but I have summarized everything in a chart format. Sir, what happens in a chart format? In a chart format, what happens? Everything becomes, when you read a chart, it fits in your brain like a picture. So everything is there in your brain, wherein you go ahead and remember, okay, sir had drawn that chart, this was there. So mind mapping happens, and it is very helpful for you to retain everything. So Baba, for concepts, we'll be using the textbook. For retention of the concepts and learnings, we will be using the chart book. And Baba, for applying our concept, how to apply in the exam, we will be using the Q&A material. So all the three material, and you will be done with everything, right everyone? So now the third thing, sir, what about the updations, amendments? Sir, if we are writing our exam in November, might be this time it is December, Baba, for November 2020, all the amendments which are there till 30th of April 2020 are applicable, right? All the circular, notification and amendments which are there, which happened up to 30th of April 2020 are applicable for you guys, right? So sir, is my textbook updated? Yes Baba, your textbook, chart book and Q&A, all the three have been updated with all the amendments applicable till 30th of April. It's a one-stop solution. You don't have to go and see anywhere anything else, right everyone? Sir, do I have to do amendment classes later? No Baba, if you are writing in November 2020, you don't have to go ahead and do any other amendment. I have incorporated everything in the book, and during the course of my class, I'll be discussing everything with you guys, right? Sir, but my exam is in May 21. Can I go ahead and take your class? I am already taking your class. I am seeing your class. Baba, if your exam is in May 21, then Baba, for you, the amendments are applicable till 30th of October, 31st of October and 2020. So basically what will happen from 30th of April 2020. So my book is amended till here, but for you guys, amendment till here are applicable. Sir, what about the amendments between this time? So Baba, between this time, whatever amendments will come, not very many amendments will be coming, don't worry about it. Few amendments will be coming, definitely. It might take 3 to 4 hours for us to go ahead and provide you the amendment class. Baba, you can relax and take the class which I am doing for November 20. Along with that, I will go ahead and upload the statutory update. Baba, once the ICAI releases the statutory update, I will go ahead and upload the statutory update along with the recorded lectures for the amendments. Don't worry about it. For this period, whatever amendments come, I will be going ahead and providing you the amendments. Don't worry about it. It's my responsibility. I will take care of it. You guys are my student. So Baba, don't worry about it. Everything will be taken care. So if your exam is in May 21, Baba, the amendments from 30th April to 31st of October, I will be going ahead and providing you through YouTube. And Baba, what about the material for this? Baba, the material for this also I will be providing once ICAI releases the statutory update. Sir, why ICAI releases the statutory update? See what happens, there are a lot of amendments which come, but we wait for the ICAI to go ahead and tell us, okay, these are the amendments which we will be asking questions on. There might be so many amendments which might not be applicable for you guys. So we wait for the statutory update to be released by the ICI. Only then we will go ahead and release the amendment booklet and the amendment videos, right? If it is possible, then I'll release it earlier also. Let's go ahead now. The fourth one which is there, sir, I am watching your class. If I have a query, what is to be done? If you have a query, you guys can go ahead and WhatsApp it to me. Baba, you guys can go ahead and WhatsApp it to me, or you can use Telegram also. I recommend Telegram because Telegram we have a group which is CA Final IDT Ramesh Soni. This group which is there, it is created for all the students to join together. Baba, go see that group. If you have a query, you post there. Other students who already had asked me that query, go ahead and reply, and Baba, it creates a very competitive kind of environment. So I've gone ahead and created this group over there. Besides this, if you have any personal query, you guys can go ahead and WhatsApp it to me also. Not a worry at all. Over and above this, on Sunday I'll be coming live. So Sunday I'll be having a live session between 1 to 2 o'clock, and in the live session we'll go ahead and discuss all the queries which you guys have, right? So Saturday evening I'll be, as you guys already might be knowing, Saturday evening I'll be uploading one paper which supposingly from Monday to Saturday we have studied a concept. We have studied 2 chapters. For these 2 chapters I'll be going ahead and uploading a small test which I'll be uploading on Saturday night, and Baba, Sunday you guys have to go ahead and solve the test, and Sunday 1 to 2 o'clock I will be live on YouTube or on my app. Okay, I will go ahead and tell you how it will be, and I'll be live and we'll go ahead and discuss all the queries which are there, right everyone? Queries, test, everything will be discussed on the live session. Now, that's it. Let's go ahead and start our class now. Baba, these are the few things which I wanted you guys to know before we go ahead and start everything. Baba, trust me, trust the class, just enjoy the class. There is nothing else which you guys have to go ahead and study other than the textbook, chart book and Q&A. That's it. You don't need anything other than that. Right everyone? Chalo, let's go ahead and start with our GST part. Baba, we'll be starting with GST. Now, when I tell you GST, what is GST everyone? What is GST? Sir, when you say GST, GST means goods and services tax. Sir, okay. So what is the first thing you will have to learn? When you learn GST, what is the first thing you will be learning? When you learn GST, what is the first thing you will be learning? Baba, people reply when we are not in front of each other. So, but whenever I am asking you a question, you will have to think in your mind, or you will have to tell, ha sir, when we are learning GST, the first thing we should be learning is what is goods and what is services, right everyone? We will have to first be learning what is goods and what is services. Sir, okay, we will be learning what is goods and service, then we will have to be learning what is tax. So next thing, sir, we already know tax. Tax means what we have to compulsorily pay to the government. I'll be discussing about tax also in details after some time, right everyone? So the first thing we'll have to be learning is goods and services tax. Sir, it means whenever I am buying goods, I'll have to pay tax, or whenever I am providing service, I'll have to pay tax, right? So when I say goods and services, sir, can you go ahead and charge tax on anything? Sir, I have this calculator with me. This is goods. Can you charge tax on it? Can you charge tax on it? Sir, I have this pen with me. Can you charge tax on it? Just because I have some goods, or okay, I know how to teach, but I am sleeping at home, not going ahead and teaching anyone. Can you go ahead and tell, sir has provided a service and you have gone ahead and charged tax on me? Baba, goods and service has to be supplied, provided. There has to be something which is done with those goods. There has to be something happening. I am teaching you guys. I know how to teach, but I am sleeping at home. Will that GST be applicable on me? No, I will have to go ahead and provide a service. I'll have to go ahead and supply some goods. Baba, so that something has to happen, and that something is known as supply. Whenever goods and services are supplied, whenever goods, services are provided, Baba, all these are known as supply. So whenever I supply a service, whenever I supply some goods, then GST will be levied. right everyone? So the second step we'll have to see that goods and service has to be supplied. I hope everyone is clear. Okay, when I say supply, supply means what, sir? Supply means whenever I sell. So we'll be reading about the definition of supply also in terms of GST after some time. But now you understand what do you mean by supply. Supply means, sir, I sold this calculator. Sir, that you don't call it sale, you call it supply. In GST terms, we don't go ahead and say Ramesh sir is providing a service. We go ahead and say service is being supplied. I hope everyone is clear. So what we go ahead and use the term is supply. So goods and services are supplied. So if I go ahead and sell this calculator, I have supplied this calculator. If I go ahead and supply this calculator, with GST be levied? Baba, goods and service are supplied, will GST be levied? No sir, we'll have to further see. Supposingly there is one person on the roadside and he's selling socks. There is one person on the roadside and he's selling socks. Now socks are goods. Sir, he is going ahead and selling socks, he is supplying. But he gave you the socks, you gave him 100 rupees. Where is the GST? He didn't go ahead and charge GST. Why didn't he charge GST, everyone? Think. People, we will be linking the whole GST from your thoughts only. You will have to go ahead and answer each and every question of mine. Now tell me, goods and service are supplied. He was selling socks on the roadside. You gave him 100 rupees. He gave you the socks. Goods and service were being supplied. But why didn't he go ahead and charge you GST? He charged you 100 rupees for the socks. But why didn't he charge you GST? You will tell one thing, sir, because he is not registered in GST, sir. Yes, Baba, because he is not a taxable person. I hope everyone is clear. Because he is not a taxable person. Sir, what do you mean by taxable person? A taxable person is a person who takes registration in GST. So if you have not gone ahead and taken registration, you are not a taxable person. If you are not a taxable person, you will not go ahead and charge GST. I hope everyone is clear. So first of all, so the roadside person who is there, he is selling socks. He is selling socks. Goods are being supplied. Why didn't he go ahead and charge GST? Because he was not a taxable person. I hope everyone is clear. So always the first step we see whether something is goods and service. Sir, if supposingly something is not falling within the definition of goods and service, then out, Baba, out. We will not go ahead and charge GST. Yes, sir. Calculator is good, sir. Then we'll have to further go ahead and see whether calculator is being supplied. Supplied means it is being sold. So there are some things which we will be discussing about the supply ka definition after some time, not now, might be in the second or third class. We will be discussing about supply ka definition. When you read, no, supply ka definition says supply includes sale, transfer, barter, lease, rental, license, disposal. Baba, whenever you go ahead and sell something, whenever you go ahead and transfer something, whenever you go ahead and barter, you give something, take something, correct? Lease, rental, license, whenever all these things happen, it is included in the definition of supply. So if I go ahead and give my old car and take a new car, that is also in the definition of supply. So what I am telling is, supply has been defined in GST to include everything. As of now, we will understand sale. So goods are being sold. That guy on the roadside, goods were being sold by him, right? But he did not go ahead and charge GST. Why, sir? Because he was not a taxable person. So who is a taxable person? Who has to take registration? We will be discussing in details in the next chapter, right? Sir, if something is not falling in the definition of supply, it is out of GST. I hope everyone is clear. We will be discussing in detail later. Sir, if something is not falling in the definition of goods and service, out. But sir, it is falling in the definition of goods. Then you will have to see the second one. Second one says, sir, it should be falling in the definition of supply. Sir, it is not falling in the definition of supply, out of GST. Sir, it is falling in the definition of supply. Then we will have to go ahead and see whether it is supply by a taxable person. Sir, he is not a taxable person. For example, agriculturist who is doing agriculture, he is not there in the definition of, he is not required to take registration. So if I say, sir, there is an agriculturist, he is selling vegetable, is being sold. Vegetable is goods, sold is falling in the definition of supply. But sir, he is an agriculturist. Agriculturist is not required to take registration, and hence we will say, sir, he is out of GST. But sir, supposingly Ramesh sir, I am teaching. Teaching is a service. Sir, I am supplying the service. I am providing you the service. So it is falling in the definition of supply. For me, it's a sale, right? When I go ahead and provide you the class, for me, it's a sale. So when I go ahead and supply, am I a taxable person? You'll have to see. So supposingly my turnover, for an example, just imagine, okay, in the dream, my turnover is supposingly 50 lakh rupees. You are required to take registration. You are required to take registration. In case of services, it is 20. So you are required to take registration when you cross 20 lakh ka turnover. Baba, the turnover limit for registration is 20 lakh. So am I a taxable person if my registration is 50 lakh? Yes, sir. If you are a taxable person, then Baba, GST will be levied. Sir, GST will be levied means I will have to go ahead and charge GST. GST will be levied means GST will be imposed on me. Whenever GST will be imposed on me, I will have to go ahead and charge you GST. Sir, how will you go ahead and charge GST? See, Baba, GST is an indirect tax. Sir, what do you mean by indirect tax? Indirect tax means government will impose on me. Government told Ramesh, you are providing a service, your turnover is greater than 50 lakh, GST is imposed on you, imposed on me. But Baba, I will make my consumers as the bakra. So I will collect from my consumers and pay it to the government. So I will collect from my customers and pay it to the government. So GST is an indirect tax. What happens? Baba, it was levied on me, but I collected it from you and then I'll give it to the government. Right, everyone? So whenever one person pays indirect tax to the government, it is not directly paid to the government, it is indirectly paid to the government. I hope everyone is clear. Indirect tax. So GST was levied on me. Now when GST was levied on me, now sometimes what happens, there's two words which are there. One is levy, one is collection. One is levy, one is collection. So GST is levied on all goods and services. All goods and services, GST is levied. For an example, all goods and services, GST is levied. Now, I will tell you for an example, milk. Milk is there. Now, milk is something which is a public necessity item. Now, government has gone ahead and told, although GST is levied, GST is imposed on milk also because GST is levied on all goods and services, but in public interest, I will go ahead and exempt. And hence, government have gone ahead and exempted some item. Even though GST is levied, but collection, government is telling we will not collect GST, we will exempt them in public interest, and hence we will see that for some item exemption is being provided. I hope everyone is clear. For some item, government have gone ahead and provided exemption. So the next chapter we'll be learning is exemption ka chapter. So till now, what did we discuss? Baba, I am going ahead and taking you in the flow how we'll be learning about the chapters, right, everyone? So the first thing which government has gone ahead and told, goods and service. We should know what is goods, we should know what is service. No, sir, something is not falling in goods and service ka definition out of GST. Sir, it is falling in the definition of goods and service. We'll have to see whether it is falling in the definition of supply. Sir, yes, sir, it is falling in the definition of supply. Supply ka definition is given in section number 7 of the CGST Act. We'll be discussing later. Yes, sir, it is supply. Supply means sale, transfer, barter, etc. Yes, sir, it is falling in the definition of supply. Then no problem, we'll have to go ahead. No, sir, it is not falling in the definition of supply out of GST. For an example, sale of land, they have told it is neither supply of goods nor supply of service, means they have excluded from the definition of supply. So whenever sale of land is there, sale of land is out of GST because they have told in the definition of supply that sale of land is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. I hope everyone is clear. So first something is to fall in the definition of goods and service. Then we'll have to see whether it is falling in the definition of supply. Yes, sir, it is falling in the definition of supply. Then Baba, GST to be charged, we'll have to see if the supply has been done by a taxable person. For an example, one person on the roadside, he is selling socks, he is not a taxable person. Then Baba, if he is not a taxable person, he is out. Agriculturist is not a taxable person, he'll be out. But sir, supposingly I have crossed already a turnover of 20 lakh, I am a taxable person, then Baba, GST will be imposed on me. Baba, I will have to go ahead and collect GST from my customer and pay it to the government. I hope everyone is clear. I'll have to collect GST from my customer and pay it to the government. But sir, supposingly GST is levied, but what happened? No government. But sometimes what happens in public interest, everyone with me, people, you will have to talk with me, everyone here. sometimes what happens in public interest, government goes ahead and provides exemptions. Government goes ahead and provides exemption. Government says public interest because it is a public necessity item, let's go ahead and exempt. So government has gone ahead and provided exemptions for goods also, and government has provided exemptions for services also. There are many goods which has been exempted. However, they will not ask you in the exam which are the goods which are exempted, like milk, salt, grains, etc. All these have been exempted in public interest. I hope everyone is clear. And there are some services which are also exempted. So if you are falling in exemption, you will be out of GST. We will be learning about the services. There are around 100 services which are there, which are applicable for exam. Right now, sir, if I am not falling in an exemption, sir, if you are not falling in an exemption, levy is also there and collection will also be there. Baba, everyone here. So if GST is imposed on me, then I will have to collect GST from my customer. So Baba, the next step will be to collect the GST. I am not falling under an exemption, sir. Yes, sir. If I am falling under an exemption, then I will be out. No, sir, I am not falling in an exemption. Then, Baba, you are a bakra now. You will have, Baba, everything told in the class, every word used in the class is only for classroom purpose. Sir, bakra, bakra means I have to now go ahead and collect the GST from my customer and pay it to the government. So, GST will be levied and I'll have to collect the GST. GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax, value of supply into rate of tax. Right, everyone? Sir, what do you mean by value of supply? For an example, I went ahead and provided you the class in 5,000 rupees. If I have gone ahead and provided you the class in 5,000 rupees, Baba, or 10,000, whatever it is, I have gone ahead and provided you the class for 5,000 rupees. The value of supply between us is the transaction value. How much did you pay? 5,000 rupees. So, on the 5,000 rupees, I'll have to go ahead and apply the rate of GST, supposingly 18%. I'll have to collect 18% from you, 5,000 into 18%, and then I'll have to give it to the government. I hope everyone is clear. So, I will collect 5,000 into 18%. How much, everyone? 900 rupees. I'll have to collect along with my fees and give it to the government. So, how much is the GST? 900 rupees. Bye-bye, everyone. First of all, I am providing service. I am into teaching. I am into coaching. Coaching is a service. Yes, sir, it is a service. Sir, coaching I am providing means I am supplying. Sir, yes, sir, you are supplying. I have already crossed a turnover of 20 lakh. I am a taxable person. I have to take registration. Once I take registration, GST will be levied on me. Sir, GST levied on you means GST has been imposed on me. Now, I'll have to go and see if I am anywhere falling in an exemption. If I am falling in an exemption, then I'll be out. No, sir, coaching is not exempted. So, if I am not exempted, I will have to go ahead and collect GST from you, from my customer. I'll have to go ahead and collect GST and pay it to the government. How will I collect? How will I collect? That also government has gone ahead and told Ramesh, whatever is the value of supply, whatever is the value into rate of tax, you will have to pay me the GST. Sir, how do you determine value? Baba, section number 15 is there in the CGST Act, where government have gone ahead and told what are the things you have to add in the value, what are the things you will have to exclude from the value. I hope everyone is clear. What are the things that are to be added in the value, what are the things that are to be excluded. For an example, I went to Archie's to buy a gift. I went to Archie's. Everyone here, I went to Archie's to buy a gift. They told me, sir, 500 rupees ka gift. I told, it's my girlfriend ke liye gift. I want a special packing to be done. Archie's told, sir, 50 rupees extra. When Archie's is charging me 550, should Archie's collect GST on 500 rupees or Archie's should collect GST on 550? I hope everyone is clear. Supposingly, I am Archie's. If I am selling a gift, 500 rupees ka gift, and I am selling the gift along with a gift wrap, which is 50 rupees ka gift wrap. I have collected 550 from my customer. I should collect GST on 500 and pay it to the government, or on 550 and pay it to the government. Always remember one thing: whenever you are doing business in the country, and you have exceeded the threshold limit, which is basically 50 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees, and for goods 40 lakh rupees. If you have exceeded the threshold limit, then Baba, government becomes your partner. Government says, Ramesh, you are prospering, country also should prosper, so government will become my partner. Government is my partner in crime. Government is telling, Ramesh, whenever you sell, I am your partner. Collect that extra GST from the customer and give it to me. I hope everyone is clear. Government is always my partner in, partner in crime. I will have to collect GST from my customer and pay it to my partner. Partner told Ramesh, whenever you are selling calculator, I want 18%. Ramesh, whenever you are selling calculator, I want 18%. I will tell my partner, 18%. Okay, no problem. I will collect from my customer and give it to you. I hope everyone is clear. Baba. So what happened? No, for some goods, government went ahead and told, I will not go ahead and collect any GST. For those goods, government have kept 0% as the rate. I hope everyone is clear. For those goods, government have kept 0% as the rate. So whichever are the items which are a basic public necessity item, government have gone ahead and told, either we will exempt or keep the rate as 0%. I hope everyone is clear. See, there are two types of item. One is on those goods on which rate of GST only is 0%. Government is telling, we will not go ahead and charge anything now, we will charge 0%. 0% means nothing. And one is where GST ka rate is 18%, but government have gone ahead and exempted in public interest. There are two different things. I'll be discussing about it later. There are two different things. One is 0% GST. 0% means GST is levied, but government is telling, as of now, we will go ahead and charge 0%, means we don't have any intention to collect. In future, if we want, we can increase the rate by 5%, 10%. Whenever we increase the rate, it will become GST levied. The other is exemption. Exemption, what happens? For example, renting. Renting pe rate of GST is 18%. Government have gone ahead and levied a rate of 18% on renting, but government told renting of residential house, home, is exempt. Means 18% GST is there, but government is telling, I don't want to collect, because food, clothing, shelter is a basic human necessity item. So renting of residential house pe, Ramesh, if you are renting your residential house, don't collect GST. But if you are renting your commercial property, please collect GST and pay it to me. I hope everyone is clear. Can we go ahead, everyone? Now, sir, if I am falling under any exemption, I'll be out. But if I'm not falling under any exemption, then I'll have to go ahead and collect GST. I will collect GST on the value of supply. Sir, value of supply? Value of supply means that value on which you have to pay GST to the government. Value of supply ke liye, there are things which are to be added, there are things which are to be deducted, and on that value you have to pay GST. For an example, I went to a showroom, they told 10,000 ka jeans pant, 5,000 rupees they gave me a discount and they charged me only 5,000. So Baba, the showroom guy who is there, he will collect GST from me on the 5,000 rupees and pay it to the government. So supposingly, I am Archie's, one person came to me, he bought a gift for 5,000 rupees, he took a special packing of 500 rupees. So I will have to collect GST on 5,500 and pay it to the government. Now, at what rate you should collect GST? That depends on your partner. Supposingly, I am selling luxury cars. My partner told Ramesh, when you are selling luxury car, people who are coming to you are rich people, collect 28% and give it to me. So, Baba, it depends on my partner. Who is the partner over here? Government. Baba, government is my partner in crime. Ramesh, you are doing a business, I also will earn from your business. Baba, whoever does a business in the country, government becomes their partner, unless that's a very small business. Up to 20 lakh, 10 lakh, some states may 10 lakh. And for goods it is 40 lakh a limit. For an example, now we will understand the limit is 20 lakh rupees only. So up to 20 lakh government is telling, small business, I don't want to be a partner. But as soon as you cross that limit, government becomes your partner. I hope everyone is clear. So sir, once I know the value, for an example, I sold my goods for 5,000 rupees. Government has told me the rate of GST on these goods is 18%. I'll have to collect 900 from my customer. Now, how will I go ahead and collect from my customer, everyone? My question to you guys is, how will I collect? Sir, we want to copy. Baba, if you want to copy anytime, you guys can go ahead and pause quickly and go ahead and copy, right, everyone? See, we'll not spend much time, but I hope people have already copied. Otherwise, you guys can pause and quickly copy. Now, once you know the value, so what happened over here? I am providing service. Everyone, service provided means supplied. I have already crossed a turnover of 20 lakh and I am a registered person. So I am a taxable person. GST will be levied on me. Sir, is my coaching services falling in exemption? No, sir. No, then I'll have to collect GST. Sir, how will I collect GST? Value of supply into rate of tax. Sir, value of supply. Value of supply means at what value I have sold you the goods. We will be understanding in details later what are the things to be added in value, what are the things to be excluded. As of now, you understand whatever amount I have collected from a customer, on that I will have to charge GST. Sir, at GST at what rate? Whatever my partner has told. Partner told 18%, so I will collect 18% 900. Now, what is the next step, everyone? I will have to collect GST from my customer. How will I collect? Sir, please go ahead and issue him a tax invoice. I hope everyone is clear. So, the next step will be, I will have to go ahead and issue him a tax invoice. So, sir, tax invoice. How will I collect? Do you think my customer will pay without the bill? You went to one shop, he told, madam, 5,000 rupees, or sir, 5,000 rupees plus 1,000 GST. You will tell, sir, bill. Right, everyone? So, I will have to give him a tax invoice. When I give you a tax invoice, Baba, the next chapter is tax invoice. Who should issue? When should you issue tax invoice? What are the details that should be there in the tax invoice? Sir, if goods come back, then I should issue credit note. Right, everyone? Credit and debit notes, etc. I hope everyone is clear. So, the next chapter it is there. Sir, I will have to collect GST. How will I collect GST? GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Sir, value, how will I collect? Now, you will have to say 5,000 is the value and 900 is the GST. So, you will have to prepare an invoice to collect. So, the next step is tax invoice ka chapter. So, tax invoice, Baba, in the tax invoice chapter, you will be learning when you should issue invoice. In case of supplier of goods, when you should issue invoice. If you are a supplier of service, when you should issue invoice, etc. The next step is, sir, supposingly goods came back, etc. You would already know that there is a something called a credit note, debit note, etc. So, in GST also, when are you going to issue debit note, when are you going to issue credit note, etc. has been dealt in with this by this chapter. I hope everyone is clear. Sir, once I go ahead and issue a tax invoice, everyone listen, I am Archie's. Everyone here, I am Archie's. Goods sold, Archie's taxable person, GST levied, Archie's ka goods are not falling in an exemption, Baba, Archie's will go ahead and collect GST. How will it collect GST? It will issue a tax invoice. I hope everyone is clear till here. Baba, this is the basic foundation. I hope everyone is thinking this easily. Sir, listen to me, everyone. Whenever I am telling anything now, I am not going ahead and explaining in depth about these chapters. All these points which I am talking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, everyone? 7. All these are name of your chapters, everyone. I am linking all the chapters together so that it becomes easy for you guys to remember. Now, once you go ahead and issue a tax invoice, I am Archie's 5,500 rupees ka gift along with the GST. I have issued a tax invoice. Now, once I issue a tax invoice, what is the next step, everyone? Government says, Ramesh, after you issue a tax invoice, you will have to go ahead and collect the money anyways, and you maintain your accounts and records. Accounts and records. Who should maintain their accounts and records? See, Baba, my partner is there. Partner is telling Ramesh, I will not believe in what you are telling always. Baba, we are not telling, partner is doubting me always. But there are not everyone in the country who is very truthful and who will go ahead and tell everything correct. So, government is telling, I want you to maintain all your books of accounts, all your record properly, so that whenever I want to check whether you are collecting my share properly or not. So, government have made me his partner. Now, I'll have to collect the GST, right? So, if I am collecting it correctly or not, government, in order to check that, is telling, please maintain your accounts and record, all the tax invoices, debit note, credit note, etc. Please maintain. I hope everyone is clear. So, once I go ahead and maintain my accounts, the next step is, government is telling, Ramesh, what are you waiting? Now, you will go ahead and say, Baba, I have issued him the tax invoice. I have maintained all my accounts. Now, I will have to go ahead and issue him a e-way bill, right, everyone? I'll have to send him. 1 minute. Now, I am Archie's. I have issued him a tax invoice. I have maintained my accounts. I have kept all my books of account, tally, etc. Now, I'll have to send the goods to him, right? When I was about to give him the goods, either he can take the goods and go, or Baba, supposing he told me, Ramesh sir, you please deliver it to my office. So, when I am sending him the goods will be going on the way. When the goods are going on the way, Baba, on the way, there will be police who will be standing to check whether, Baba, department ka people will be standing GST department ka people who will be checking whether people have gone ahead and issued correct invoice to sell the goods or not, whether people have issued correct invoices etc or not. In order to check that, these people will be standing. So Baba, on the way when these people catch you, you'll have to show a document. You'll have to show a document which is known as a e-way bill. I hope everyone is clear, sir. Once I go ahead and sell my goods, issue the tax invoice. After issuing the tax invoice, I'll maintain all my records and I'll issue a e-way bill. So when the goods are going on the way and the department officer is catching, my person can show him, see sir, we have issued the correct tax invoice, we have collected the GST and given it to government. I hope everyone is clear. So government have employed tax officers to stand on the way and check if somebody is selling the goods without the invoice, catch that goods, confiscate the goods, confiscate the truck. Everything can happen. So Baba, when you are sending the goods, on the way checking will happen. On the way when checking happens, you'll have to show a document which is an e-way bill, which we'll be learning in the next chapter. I hope everyone is clear. Electronic way bill. E-way bill is electronic way bill. On the way when you are going, e-way bill means on the way when you are going, you'll have to generate a bill, means a document with electronically. I hope everyone is clear. When you are going on the way, you will have to generate a bill electronically, which is known as a e-way bill. So simple it is, right everyone? Now, sir, once I go ahead and maintain my accounts and record, what is the next step? Sir, once I go ahead and maintain my accounts and record, listen to me everyone. Supposingly, I sold the goods, Baba Archis, sold the goods, issued the invoice, sent the goods, maintained the account, Baba collected the GST as well. Now government is telling Ramesh, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Please go ahead and pay my GST. So Baba, the next step will come. See, I sold the goods, I issued the invoice, I maintained the accounts, I sent the goods. Government is telling Ramesh, what are you waiting for now? Please go ahead and pay my GST. So basically my liability to pay GST will come. I hope everyone is clear. My liability to pay GST will come. And Baba, liability to pay GST, the good name for this chapter is given as time of supply. Time of supply means my time has come bad when I have to pay the GST to the government. I hope everyone is clear. My bad time has come when I have to pay the GST to the government, and that time is known as time of supply. I hope everyone is clear. People, here. So goods and service are supplied by a taxable person, GST was levied, and if he is falling in an exemption, he will be out of GST. But if he is not falling in an exemption, he has to collect GST from the customer, issue him an invoice, maintain his account, send the goods to him, and Baba, then he will have to go ahead and pay the GST. Paying the GST, liability has come. The good name for this chapter, when my liability has come, means I'll have to pay the GST to the government, my bad time has come. That chapter name is time of supply. Time of supply is that time when you have to go ahead and pay the GST to the government. For an example, I have gone ahead and sold the goods in the month of January and issued the invoice in the month of January. Baba, I'll have to go ahead and pay the GST to the government. The liability, which month ka liability it is? January month ka liability it is, which I'll have to go ahead and pay to the government. Baba, see, I sold some goods in the month of January, January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th. Baba, every day of January I am selling. Do you think every day I'll have to go to the bank and deposit the government money? Every day going to the bank depositing, every day going to the bank depositing. Whatever is the liability of the month of January, whatever will be the liability of the month of January, government have fixed 20th February to pay. Whatever is the liability of month of February, you will have to pay by 20th of March. I hope everyone is clear. Baba, liability, when do you have to go ahead and pay it to the government? That we are not talking. I am talking which month ka liability it is. That has to be determined in the month case chapter of time of supply. See, sometimes what happens? You receive advance in January. Okay? Goods you go ahead and supply in the month of February. Okay? Payment you receive from the customer in the month of March. Huh? Sir, advance January, supply February, payment March. Now, which month ka liability it is? Because if it's a liability of the month of January, you have to pay by 20th of February month ka liability 20th March. March month ka liability 20th of April. You would always want to pay it at the last. You would always want that, sir, I will pay it March month. Sir, I will not pay only. You would want not to pay only. But government is telling, See, government always wants to collect early, you always want to pay late. So government has gone ahead and told, Baba, let's not fight over here. Government is telling, Ramesh, my money, no. Government is telling, my money, no. So I am telling, okay, government, you only tell when do you want it. So government in the chapter of time of supply has told Ramesh, when do you have to pay the GST? So the next chapter is time of supply. I hope everyone is clear. Once my liability comes, I'll have to go ahead and pay. So Baba, liability to pay comes at the time of supply. Are we clear? So supposingly it's a month liability of the month of January. For an example only, everyone, for an example, we'll talk about it later. When do you have to pay? Whether you have to pay on advance, whether you have to pay when you actually issue the invoice, whether you have to pay when you make the payment. We'll talk about it later. Let's not discuss this now, but it will come. There is a chapter which will come. Sir, once the liability to pay has come, I'll have to go ahead and pay. For an example, I booked a cab. I booked a cab. I reached the coaching center. Now I booked a cab. I've reached the coaching center. Cab wala is telling 500 rupees. When I'm getting down, he's telling, hey, wait, your liability has come. Pay 500 rupees and then get down. When I have to pay, the liability has come 500. What will I tell him? I will try to make all my jugaad from where I can find out some credit I have, Uber credit, some Ola credit, Paytm credit. I'll first use my credit. If I have my any credit, if I have, I'll use my credit. For an example, I had to make a payment of 500. So first I'll use my credit. What do you mean by credit? Credit means whatever taxes you have already paid to the government before. Don't worry about it. I'll be talking little later about credit. Sir, what do you mean by credit? Supposingly, I have sold 1 lakh rupees ka goods on which I have collected 10,000. To purchase those goods, I had already paid GST of 8,000. I have collected GST from my customer 10,000. I have already paid a GST of 8,000. So, Baba, 8,000 government gives me as a credit. I'll be discussing about the credit system little later. So, government will give me that credit. So, Baba, what will I do? I will use my inputs. Inputs means whatever I buy in input. Pay whatever tax I have paid, that credit government gives me. So, the next step is using your input tax credit. So, the next chapter ka name will be input tax credit. Means whatever tax you have paid, you get the credit of it. You will get the credit. So, you will use your input tax credit. So, when I am getting from Ola or Uber down, I will say, sir, I already have a credit of 300 rupees and I'll actually go ahead and make him a payment of only 200, right everyone? You guys do that, right? So whenever in GST also, if I had to pay 500, first I'll see my credit. If I already have a credit of 300, then I'll make the remaining amount ka payment. So the next step is payment of taxes. I hope everyone is clear. So here everyone, so what happens when my liability came? Liability, how do I go ahead and pay the liability? I'll have to use my input tax credit. On my inputs, whatever is the tax ka credit, whatever is the tax I paid, that credit government gives it to me. That supposingly I have 300 rupees. I'll use the output ke liye, whatever is the liability payable, I'll use my input tax credit, and remaining amount I'll have to go ahead and make the payment to the government. So supposingly I've collected 500 from my customer. I'll tell my partner, hey partner, when I purchase those goods, I had already paid you 300. So 300 is already paid. Remaining, see Baba, GST has to be borne by only consumer. But when I bought the goods, I had already paid 300. So I will tell, hey, I had already paid 300 by mistake. Right everyone? So Baba, that 300 I will deduct and 200 I'll have to make the payment. So Baba, the next chapter will come. Okay, input tax credit chapter may will be learning who gets, when he gets, how he gets, what are the condition, in what cases we will not get, in what cases we will get, what are the special circumstances when we will get the credit, etc, etc. We'll be dealing in the chapter of input tax credit. Once we are done with the input tax credit, we'll have to go use the input tax credit and make the payment. When you go ahead and make the payment to the government, so the next step is what? Making the payment. So you will have to go ahead and pay the tax to the government by using your online ledger, e-cash ledger, etc. We'll be discussing later, and then you will have to file a return. So the next chapter is returns. Sir, what do you mean by returns? What do you mean by returns, everyone? Baba, return is nothing. Return is nothing but an information which you give to the government. See, I made a sale of 500 supposingly 5,000 rupees, input tax credit 300 rupees I deducted, 200 I made the payment. But the statement is there with me, no? Sir, I have made a statement like this: 500 rupees is my output tax, input tax is 300, 200 rupees I have made the payment. Baba, all this statement which you are there, the statement which you have prepared roughly, government is telling you have to inform me. You have to inform me every month how much is the sales you have done, how much is your credit which you have availed, how much is the payment you have done. You have to inform me. Now, do you think in India crores of people are doing business? Crores of people are doing business. Baba, government is a partner with all the businessmen. There is no agreement required. There is no agreement required for government to become a partner. Government is always your partner if you have gone ahead and crossed your threshold limit of 20 lakh. Now, government is my partner. I'll have to collect GST and pay. Collect GST and pay. Now, do you think 1 crore people will call government on 20th of every month? Sir, we have collected this much GST. This much GST has been paid to you. Do you think it is possible for the government to go ahead and accept everyone's call and Baba discuss? No, you have not paid correctly. Baba, that is not possible. So what government has gone ahead and done? Government have told, relax, Baba, you guys will have to submit a statement. Now what happens when I will submit a statement? I'll write output tax this much, sale this much, input tax this much. Whatever is my wish, I will write and give it to the government. Someone else who is not not so educated might go ahead and write in his own language. Might be someone else will go ahead and write, okay, 500 minus 300, 200, you understand how you want. Baba, so government is telling, in order to make it a generalized, a proper manner to provide me information, I will give you a format in which I want the information. So government has given us formats in which government wants us to give the information to the government. That format is known as return. In return format, return, what do we do? Nothing. Whatever is the sales information, purchase information, payment information, we'll have to put and make the and go ahead. So whatever is the information that government is asking, you will have to go ahead and put it in a format which the government has given, saying, sir, you will have to tell whatever is your sale, you will have to tell whatever is your purchases, you will have to tell how much ever payment you have done and inform me in this format. So Baba, government has given a prescribed format in which you go ahead and file your returns. I hope everyone is clear. So till here, my work is over. My work is over till here. I hope everyone is clear. People, if you want to copy, you guys can pause and copy. Listen. I am a service provider. People, listen to me. This is a very important thing. These are the base. These are all the chapters of GST which I am telling you. These are all the chapters of GST. So what happens? First of all, sir, I am a service provider. I have gone ahead and supplied a service. Sir, I know how to teach, but I never went ahead. I know how to teach, but I never went ahead and provided any service. Then nothing. If you never provided any service, out. If supposingly what I am doing is not a service at all also. Baba, when we are reading the definition of service, goods and service, we'll see money is not goods also, money is not service also. So money pe there is no GST. Just imagine you want to drink one tea, you gave 100 rupees ka note, paper, no, you will charge GST. No, money pe there is no GST only. Money is neither goods nor service. Baba, so money is out. Sir, something is following the definition of goods also and service also. Second step, you will have to see whether it is following the definition of supply. Sir, it is not following the definition of supply, out. Sir, it is following the definition of supply. It has to be done by a taxable person. I hope everyone is clear. Sir, if I am not a taxable person, then out. Agriculturist, person whose turnover is less than 20 lakh, out. But sir, if I am a taxable person, government is telling, Ramesh, now you became the bakra. Government will go ahead and levy. 1 minute everyone. Government will go ahead and levy GST. So once GST is levied, now I will say government GST is levied, but what I am selling is bindi, sindoor, plastic bangles, all these are public necessity item. Government, please exempt it. So government can go ahead and exempt some item, milk, salt, grains, etc. Government have gone ahead and told all these are public necessity item. I will go ahead and exempt. I hope everyone is clear. So government will go ahead and provide an exemption. One notification government will issue and government will exempt some item. There are some goods which are exempted, but they will not ask you in the exam for goods. There are some services also which are exempted. There are some services also which are exempted. There are around 100 services which are being exempted. For example, one religion charitable institution is there. Charitable institution is providing public health ka some services. Baba, all those are exempted by the government. I hope everyone is clear. Healthcare services are there, educational services are there, whichever is public necessity ka, transportation is there, healthcare services, educational institution ka services, all these are services which are being exempted by the government in public interest. Baba, transportation by buses, etc. All these are being exempted by the government in public interest. We'll be discussing in details later. Now, no sir, I am not falling in an exemption. I am Archie's, I am selling gifts. Gifts are nowhere falling in an exemption. Teddy bear, Archie sold a teddy bear. Baba, value, Archie's has to collect GST. Archie's has to collect GST on the value into the rate which is told by the government. Government will go ahead and tell you how much GST you have to collect from the customer. So on the value, I'll collect the GST. Now, how do I collect the GST? I will have to go ahead and issue a tax invoice. Tax invoice plus sometime what happens, goods are coming back, I'll have to issue credit note, debit note, etc. So tax invoice, credit note, debit note. Once I go ahead and issue a tax invoice, debit note, credit note, all the documents whenever I'm issuing, I should maintain my accounts. People maintain their accounts in Tally, somebody maintain manually, etc. So once you maintain your accounts, then now whatever goods I have sold, I have to send it to the other person. No. So how will I send it, sir? You will have to send it by using a document which is known as a e-way bill, electronic way bill. I'll have to go ahead and send the goods by a document which is a electronic way bill. Way, on the way, document is required which is to be generated electronically. Electronically means I'll have to go online on the e-way bill ka website and generate a document, and I have to carry it with me when I am transporting the goods, so that whenever one officer will catch, I can show him that, see Baba, I have sold the goods and I have collected the GST from the customer. Now government is saying, Ramesh, you sold the goods, you collected the money, what else is remaining? So I'll have to go ahead and pay the GST to the government. So my time has come bad, I'll have to now pay the GST to the government which I have collected. Sir, why time has come bad? Nobody wants to pay, Baba. Even if you collect, people say, hey, who will pay? I'll pay late. So Baba, government is telling, your time has come bad, time of supply, please go ahead and pay the GST to me. So time of supply is that time when your liability to pay GST crystallizes. Basically, you'll have to pay the GST to the government. So if it's a liability of the month of January, I'll have to pay by 20th of February. February ka liability, 20th of March. I hope everyone is clear. So once my liability comes, what will I do? I have to go ahead and use my credit. So the next step is using your credit. Credit, input, tax credit. Whatever I purchase, whatever tax I paid on purchase, I get a credit of it, which is known as inputs pay. Whatever tax is paid means GST ka credit. Now, once I go ahead and use my credit, I'll have to make the payment to the government. Sir, 500 had to be paid, 300 I use my credit, remaining 200 I'll go ahead and make the payment to the government. Once I make the payment, all this detail, my purchase ka detail, my sales ka detail, my purchase ka detail, all this complete detail I'll have to go ahead and provide to the government. Government have gone ahead and told you will have to go ahead and provide it to me in some forms. Those forms are known as returns. So simple, everyone. Just imagine, till here once we are done, no? In details, when we learn all this chapter, you are done with 75% of your GST. Almost 70 to 75%. 70 to 75% of your GST is done. Once this much is done. Right, everyone? So simple. Just imagine. Baba, GST is the simplest subject of all. I am telling you, aram se relax and sit. Baba, eat something. Now, Baba, it's not a class which we are having where it's a class where everyone is sitting. I am sitting in front of you. I will tell don't eat. Baba, in my class also I allow students to eat. No problem at all. Aram se relax at home. Now you are sitting at home. Wherever you are sitting, aram se relax. If you are eating something, eat, drink, enjoy, and Baba, drink and eat. Baba, fruits, non-alcoholic beverages. Aram se enjoy and watch the class. Right, everyone? Only enjoy. Baba, you just have to enjoy the class. Trust me. GST is the smallest syllabus. GST and custom indirect tax law is the smallest syllabus among all the subjects which you have. So this being the smallest, you'll have to enjoy it to the core. I am telling you, Baba, GST and custom. See, my chart book is in printing stage now, so I don't have the chart book with me now. But this is the previous version of my chart book. This is the previous version of my chart book. I don't have the chart book as of now because it's in the printing stage. Might be when you are watching the lecture you would have received it, or you will receive it in few days. So this was the previous version. now just imagine, this is the whole of customs and GST which we had covered in 70 pages last time. This time it is 78 pages which are there, right everyone? So Baba, GST and customs is very small. Trust me, it is very small. You just have to relax and enjoy in the class. Can we go ahead everyone? People who are relaxing, people who are enjoying, people who are chilling and sitting in the class, trust me, you will be done with the GST in the next 40-45 days. Can we go ahead everyone? Now, sir, once I have filed my return, I am done. I will say all my obligations are over. I don't have any work. I have provided service. I have collected GST. I have paid to the government. I have filed one statement and informed also. So the next step which will come after this will be, now government will say, hey Ramesh, you have filed the returns. Now I have to also check. No. So government is telling the next chapter which will come is assessments. Assessments mean basically all the kinds of checking etc. will happen. One is self-assessment. I have assessed my tax, I have paid to the government. Baba, scrutiny will happen, checking will happen, provisional assessments are there, scrutiny is there, best judgment assessment is there. All those assessments will start. So the next chapter we'll be learning is assessment. Okay, before this assessment chapter, one more chapter which I want to include over here. See, GST is a new law. GST is a new law, and any time during any stage, supposingly while learning, while reading the supply card definition, you have a doubt, or might be you don't know whether you have to take registration or not. Baba, you have any doubt in GST, you have any doubts in GST, not any doubt. Actually, there is a list which has been given by them. Only those doubts if you have, because GST is a new law, at any stage, if you have a doubt which is relating to the topics which they have gone ahead and told, who have told government. Government knows that GST is a new law and people will get confused. GST is a new law and people will get confused. So whenever anybody gets confused, they can go to a authority which is known as a advance ruling authority. Advance ruling authority. So Baba, this advance ruling actually comes along with all of them. So, but we will be studying after all this gets over, we will be studying one chapter called advance ruling. Sir, what is advance ruling? Baba, advance ruling means ruling in advance. Taking a ruling in advance. What do you mean by taking a ruling in advance? See, what happens, GST is a new law. I don't know whatever supply I am doing on this, rate of GST will be 12% or 18%. I would always want 12%, department will always want 18%. There can be fight between me and department. So in order to avoid any fight in the future, what I can do is I can go to an authority called advance ruling authority. So basically there will be officers who will be sitting. I can ask the officer whatever questions I have. They will go ahead and tell me, okay Ramesh, 12% to be applied, and they will give me a ruling saying, okay, this was heard between these two people, and Baba, we have advance ruling authority is deciding that the rate of GST will be 12%. Once I get a ruling, now in the future, if there is any department between me and the department, if there is any fight, I can show the ruling and say, see, I have already obtained a ruling and Baba, rate of GST should be 12%. I hope everything is clear. So whenever, see, if I go to a chartered accountant and ask for an opinion, might be they ask me a 30,000, 50,000, 1 lakh rupees ka bill. But Baba, advance ruling, if you go ahead and take it, is just 5,000. 5,000 CGST, 5,000 SGST, it is 10,000 rupees which you have to pay. Only in 10,000 rupees, you can go ahead and take an opinion. Whatever doubts you have, you ask him, he will tell you. I am providing a service. I don't know whether my service is taxable, whether I have to pay GST or I am exempted. If you have such confusions, ask them, they will go ahead and clarify. I hope everyone is clear. So, one advanced ruling is there. This is advanced ruling is not a chapter which is to be studied in linking, but it is a chapter which you should know during the course of all these chapters. I hope everyone is clear. Next, once return is filed, the next chapter is advanced ruling. That is okay chapter. Now, government will start assessment. Assessment can be there, scrutiny assessment, best judgment assessment, provisional assessment, summary assessment. So there are many kinds of assessment which can happen. Once assessment is done, sometimes the government goes ahead and does audit also. Baba, if government wants, supposingly during a scrutiny means you had filed a return, government is having doubt, government is checking, and then government told you, Ramesh, I see that some problem is there, can you please go ahead and file make the payment of the tax. There is discrepancy. According to me, tax should be 1 lakh. You have paid only 50,000. Pay the remaining 50,000. If I pay the remaining 50,000 with interest, close matter. But sir, if I don't go ahead, then Baba, government can get an audit done, wherein government ka department ka people will come and do the audit by tax authority. Government can get it done, or it can be special audit also. Baba, audit and special audit mein generally what happens? This is audit by the tax department ka people. Special audit means tax department will nominate one CA and tell me, Ramesh, you have to get the audit done from him, and that special CSA, I'll have to get the special audit done. I hope everyone is clear. Why special CA? Special CA means the CA which is nominated by the department ka commissioner. I hope everyone is clear. Now, assessment happened, department went ahead and did audit, department went ahead and did special audit. Baba, if during this time I am found guilty, then Baba, department can go ahead and do inspection. Inspection means department officer will come. Casually he will come. Casually he will see everything. Casually he will go and he will tell the commissioner, Commissioner, see, I was standing outside his shop. Casually he was standing outside my shop and seeing. He told at least 100 people enter his shop, and at least 50 people I have seen that take the goods and go. But he is showing only 10 sales a day. So Baba, if they have, during an inspection, if they have any doubt, then they will go ahead and conduct a search. During the search, they can go ahead and seize documents also. So there can be seizure. And Baba, they can also arrest you and take. I hope everyone is clear. So inspection, search, seizure and arrest is the next chapter. Right, everyone? Now, after this, inspection, search, seizure and arrest, sir, now department will call you, Ramesh, listen. They will give me an opportunity of being heard, and then they will tell, Ramesh, see, we had done audit, we had done special audit, or inspection, search, seizure happened, and you are found guilty. Now please go ahead, we will issue a notice, and if you want, you can make the payment before the notice also, or we will go ahead and raise a show cause notice, and then we will go ahead and raise a demand. Basically what happens, demand order will come. What do you mean by demand? Demand means, supposing they will demand the tax from me. Department has caught me now, and they are telling, Ramesh, either you go ahead and make the payment of the tax without notice. If I go ahead and make the payment of the tax without notice, the penalty will be less. If I don't go ahead and make the payment of the notice, I make the payment later, then Baba, there will be more penalty. I hope everyone is clear. So department will issue a demand, means a demand order will come, and I'll have to make the payment. Sir, if I make the payment, chapter is closed. Sir, if I don't make the payment, there is one option that within 3 months, I can go for appeal. So Baba, the next chapter is appeals and revision. Appeals and revision. Sir, if I don't go ahead and make the payment of, if I don't go for an appeal within 3 months, then Baba, department will start recovery. I hope everyone is clear. After 3 months, department will start recovery. So the next chapter is demand and recovery. Demand means department will go ahead and demand the tax from me, and then they will recover. How will they recover, everyone? Baba, they will sell all my goods. If my bank account is there, they will attach my bank account. They will go ahead and sell my property. Baba, they will go ahead and sell all my movable property, immovable property, and they will recover. They will hang me upside down and recover all the amount. Or I can go for an appeal, appeals and revision. I hope everyone is clear. Baba, this is the highest authority, and your GST gets over here. Now, so Baba, so the next chapter is how what? Inspection, search, seizure, demand and recovery, and Baba, appeals and revision. That's it. We are done with the GST now. Now here, Baba, that's it. This much is it. So what I am telling, what we started with learning with goods and service. No sir, it is not falling in the definition of goods and service. Out. Everyone with me, you'll have to talk with me. Sir, if it is falling in the definition of goods and service, very good. If it is not falling in the definition of goods and service, out of GST. Yes sir, it is falling in the definition of goods and service, then you'll have to see the second step, whether it is falling in supply. Yes sir, it is falling in supply. Very good, we'll go ahead. No sir, it is not falling in supply, then out of GST. Sir, it is falling in the definition of supply, then you'll have to see the next step, whether it is supplied by a taxable person. No sir, it is not by a taxable person, then it will be out of GST. Yes sir, it is by a taxable person, then Baba, GST will be levied. Sir, once GST was levied, no sir, once GST was levied, there is one more chapter which you all have to learn. See, I am adding little here. So the next chapter which you will have to learn is composition levy. Composition levy. I'll be talking about this later. There's something called a composition levy which is for small traders. Small traders के लिए up to turnover of 1.5 crore whoever has, for them government has given small levy, which is a small levy means only small amount of GST will be collected from them. That is known as a composition levy. We'll talk about it later. Once GST was levied, government in public interest has exempted. So there are some exemptions which are also provided. Exemptions can be for goods also. Exemptions can be for services also. Goods ka services are not applicable for your exam, but services ka exemption which is around public interest mein government has exempted around 100 services. I hope everyone is clear. Once exemption is provided, then Baba you are out. No sir, there is no exemption for the goods which I am supplying. Then Baba you will have to pay GST. GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. I hope everyone is clear. Sir, value of supply, we will be learning how to calculate the value. Generally, value means the transaction value. I'll have to collect GST. At what rate government will be telling. But for your exam, they will not ask you the rate of tax. I hope everyone is clear. You will collect GST. GST is equal to value into rate of tax. But for your exam, they will not go ahead and ask you the rate. Rate is not applicable for your exam. They will give you in the question. Sir, once I know the value, I'll prepare the invoice, credit note, debit note. Then sir, I will maintain my accounts and records. Sir, accounts and records are to be maintained for this much period, 72 months. Accounts and records ka audit has to be done, etc., etc. has been taught in this chapter. Once I maintain all my accounts, I will have to send the goods to the other person with a e-way bill. Baba people, I hope you are talking with me. You will have to send with a e-way bill. Now, once you send the goods to the other person with a e-way bill, government is telling, Ramesh, what are you waiting for? You have already sold the goods, you have sent the goods, you have maintained your account, now make the payment. So, your liability to pay will come. Once your liability comes, you will have to make the payment. Payment, how will you make? First, you will use your input, tax, credit, right everyone? And then you will go ahead and make your payment of taxes. And then Baba you will file your returns. I hope everyone is clear. Baba, in parallel, I told you should also know a chapter which is known as a advanced ruling, which is also known as a advanced ruling. So the next chapter is basically advanced ruling, which we'll be learning. Advanced ruling means whenever you have any doubts, you can go ahead and take a ruling in advance. Once you go ahead and take a ruling in advance, Baba, this is it. Now your work from your side is done. Then Baba, department ka work will start. But here no, we'll be learning one chapter called TDS and TCS also. I'll not be discussing with this for this now, but we'll be learning in the due course of time. There's one chapter called TDS and TCS also. Now, department ka work will start. What is the department ka work? Department will go ahead and do all its assessments. Assessment ke baad department will go ahead and do what? People tell me quickly. Department, then Baba, if during the scrutiny, if department has any doubt, department will do audit. Department will do special audit. Baba, if audit and special audit has not gone ahead and given them any conclusive evidence, Baba, might be you have gone ahead and hidden everything, right? Hidden all the evidences. Now what they will do, they will go ahead and do inspection, quietly check and come. Pursuant to inspection, if they find anything concrete, then they will go ahead and issue a search order, and search and seizure can happen, and then there can be arrest also. Arrest means when the case is going on, so that you don't run away. Baba, people are running away from the country, right? Everyone, government knows people run away from the country. So there are provisions under the GST that you will be arrested. Baba, arrested means does not mean imprisonment. Arrest means restricting your free movement. Basically, they will not allow you to move freely. They will catch you and keep you in the jail, so that you don't run away and you don't become another person to run away to London, etc. Right? Government knows that people are very good in running away nowadays. So, inspection, search, seizure and arrest. And Baba, what is the next one? Once inspection, search, seizure, arrest is done and you are found guilty, then they will go ahead and raise a demand order on you. Once they raise a demand order on you, you will get 3 months. You can go ahead and file an appeal. So, the next chapter is appeals and revision. Or Baba, demand, if you don't pay within 3 months, either pay or go for an appeal. If you don't do both of them, see, either demand can be paid or go for an appeal, or within 3 months, after 3 months, department will start recovery. Recovery means they will hang you upside down, take out every penny which you have. Right, everyone? Appeals and revision. And here we are done with the GST portion. So this is the flow of GST, how we'll be learning about GST. Now, besides this, there are small chapters which are there. Connected to this chapter, we will be learning one chapter which is known as not this chapter actually. There is one chapter which is talking about, so whenever you supply goods, whether it is within the state supply or outside the state supply, intrastate, interstate, etc., to determine whether it is intrastate means within the state, or it is interstate supply. Interstate means outside the state, intrastate means within the state according to you now, and interstate means one state to another state as of now. Whether it is intrastate supply or interstate supply depends on supplier location and place of supply. You will have to see supplier ka location and place of supply. So there is one more chapter we will be learning in linking, which is known as place of supply. In detailed discussion will come, Baba, will come. This is the first class, will come. I'll be talking about a chapter called place of supply. Very interesting, very easy chapter. Don't worry about it. So once we are done, so the next chapter here only, there is a place of supply which we will be learning at the last, right? And then we have one chapter called liability to pay in certain cases. Sir, what do you mean by this chapter? Actually, this chapter which is there, liability to pay in certain cases, total bakwas chapter. Exam also not very important, but supposing company is in liquidation, company is in liquidation, or sir, minor is there. In case of minor, who will be liable? Sir, amalgamation is there, merger is happening, demerger is happening, business is discontinued, sir, person has died. In all those cases, who will be liable to pay their dues, tax dues? Who liability to pay what? Pay the tax ka dues which are there, etc. Tax, interest, penalty, etc. Supposing one person was there, he was liable to pay tax, interest, penalty. He died. Who will pay? His representative will pay, whoever is taking over the estate, right, everyone? Supposingly amalgamation is happening, who will be liable to pay? Amalgamated company or the persons who were there separated? So A and B Limited was there, they became AB Limited. Who will be liable to pay the liability which was before the amalgamation, after the amalgamation? All those things will be discussed in this chapter. Liability to pay in certain cases. Liquidation happened, who will be liable? Liquidator will be liable to pay the dues. Who will be liable? Directors will be liable. All those things will be discussed in the chapter of liability to pay. Then Baba, one chapter which is there is known as refunds ka chapter. Very interesting chapter, refunds ka chapter. And we'll also be learning about imports. Okay, first we'll be learning about imports and exports under GST. Whenever I import some goods, export some goods, what GST implication will be there, and then we will be learning about the chapter of refunds. Baba, that's it. We are done with the GST. And one more thing, which is also a parallel chapter, which happens everywhere. It's a parallel chapter which is also known as offenses and penalties. Offenses and, so you can write it above this. I am writing, you can write it anywhere. Offenses and penalties. So offenses and penalties. See what happens for any law, GST is the law. For any law to smoothly operate, there has to be penal consequences which are there. If there is no penalty, people will go ahead and violate the rules, regulations, etc. For an example, traffic. Baba, traffic ke liye traffic rules are there. If traffic rules are there, nobody will be scared. Everyone will ride without a helmet. See, even if laws are there, still people are riding without a helmet, getting caught and then paying penalty. Because there is a penalty which is levied, people are cautious, right, everyone? At least people are scared. So Baba, in order to make people follow the law properly, in every law you will see there is some penalties which are there. Offenses and penalties, the different types of offenses you do, the different penalties which can be levied. For an example, sir, I am supplying without invoice. Sir, I'm issuing invoice, but I'm not giving goods. Sir, I'm going ahead and not paying the tax to the government. I'm helping people to go ahead and take ITC by issuing them bogus invoice. All these things ke liye there are offenses and penalties. Offenses and penalties chapter is very interesting. We'll be learning over there what are the various types of offenses, what are the various types of offenses ke liye penalty means amount which you have to pay. What are the various offenses for which you will have to go to jail, punishment, imprisonment will be there. What are the various offenses for which you can pay money or also get out, right everyone? Compounding, you can pay money and save yourself, right everyone? So there are penalties which we'll be learning, there are punishments which we'll be learning. We'll be learning about the various uh, compounding, how compounding can be done. If you have done an offense and you are telling government, please, I will make the payment, I'll make money, I'll pay extra money, you leave me, all those things, etc. Sir, I did not carry a e-way bill on the way, I was caught, so your goods will be confiscated. To release your goods, how much penalty you have to pay, all those things we'll be discussing in the chapter of offenses and penalties. And once we finish till here, we will be done with the GST portions. I hope GST portions incomplete, right everyone? So Baba, these are the chapters. Everyone with me quickly, and then we'll take a break. Everyone here, we started learning with goods and service. Sir, goods and service will be supplied. Supply has to be by a taxable person. If supply is by a taxable person, then GST will be levied. Once GST will be levied, for some small traders, government has gone ahead and given composition levy. Once GST was levied, sir, but if I am falling in an exemption, then out Baba. If you are falling in an exemption, don't pay any GST. But sir, if I am not falling under any exemption, Baba, if I am not falling under any exemption, then GST is levied anyways on me. I'll have to collect the GST and pay it to the government. Collection ke liye I have to know the value, I have to know the rate of tax. Once I know the value, I know the rate of tax. Baba, notification is issued, you can find out the rate of tax. Once you know the value, you'll have to prepare the invoice. Once you go ahead and prepare the invoice, you'll have to maintain your accounts, you'll have to send the goods to the other person with the e-way bill. Then liability will come. Liability to pay comes at the time of supply. Once you make the payment, how do you make the payment? You will use your credit, then you will make the payment, and then you will file your return. Along with the payment, we will be learning a chapter called TDS and TCS also. To determine whether supply is intrastate or interstate, Baba, there are some rules, place of supply rules, which we will be learning. Chapter of place of supply. Then the next chapter is advance ruling. Baba, advance ruling means taking a ruling in advance. Whenever you have any confusion, any doubt regarding GST law, because GST is a new law and you don't want to spend so much going to a CA. Baba, I'm not telling bad about a CA, but might be CAs are expensive, right? We are expensive. But so government has gone ahead and formed one authority which is known as a advanced ruling authority. Baba, everyone, you have to talk with me. Then we have assessment, then there can be audit and special audit which can happen. Baba, during audit and special audit, if they didn't find anything concrete and they want to do inspection, they can come for inspection, search, seizure, arrest also. And Baba, generally also if department wants, they can get inspection, search, seizure done. And then Baba, demand will come, and then if you make the payment of the demand, very good boy, demand payment done with the penalty which was applicable, interest applicable, you paid everything, matter closed. No sir, I did not make the payment. Within 3 months you can go for an appeal. Appeal means, sir, appeal means you'll have to go to the appellate authority, appellate tribunal. See, appeal in GST, first appeal is to the appellate authority, then it is appellate tribunal, then it is high court, then it is Supreme Court. I hope everyone is clear. Appellate authority means commissioners are appointed. This is the tribunal. You can go to the tribunal. Baba, then High Court you can go. Then you can go to the Supreme Court. Baba, you reach Supreme Court, everything is over. That's it. We are done with GST till here. But if you don't go ahead and make the payment within 3 months, department can start the recovery. I hope everyone is clear. Department can start recovery, and then Baba, to maintain all the laws, offenses and penalties chapter is there. Liability to pay in certain cases means certain special scenarios, who will make the payment, who is liable to pay, that is told in this chapter. Then Baba will be learning about import and export. When you import some goods or export some goods, what are the consequences under GST, that will be learning in this chapter. Then you have one chapter of refunds. Sir, what is the chapter of refunds talking? Baba, refund chapter. I paid some amount extra to the government, I refunded some amount to the customer. How will I take it back? Whatever I have paid extra, how will I get it back? Sir, I have extra tax credit which is there, will I get it back? All those things government will be telling you in the chapter of refunds. So refunds is also a very interesting chapter which we will be learning by the end. So here when we read we are done with the GST portion till here. I hope everyone is clear. Along with that, we will also be learning something called a National Anti-Profiteering Authority. A very means these are basically miscellaneous topics which are there, miscellaneous provisions which we will be learning at the end after the refunds ka chapter, and we will be done with GST. That's it everyone, right everyone? People, if you guys want, you guys can quickly go ahead and pause it and copy it, right everyone? Chalo, let's take a quick break of 10-15 minutes, right everyone? Relax, eat something, drink something non-alcoholic, come back, and then we'll start our class, right everyone? Take a break.